All right, everyone, we are live and ready to start the meeting.
Okay. This regular City Council meeting of the Oak Park City Council is called to order December 21st, 2020 at 7 p.m. City Clerk Ed Norris, would you call the roll?
Yes, Mayor McClellan,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Burns,
Here.
Councilmember Radner,
Here.
and Councilmember Edgar.
Here.
Okay. We have a quorum. Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
That's Burns. And is there a second?
Second.
Second.
That was Radner. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. There are a few items on the consent agenda that are routine and are presented without discussion as a single item, but any council member can ask to have one of them moved from the blanket motion and discussed in more length. So this time's consent agenda, regular council meeting minutes of December 7th, 2020, special council meeting minutes at the same date, Parks and Recreation Commission meeting minutes of October 21st, Corridor Improvement Authority meeting minutes of September 17th, licenses, new and renewals submitted for December 21st, 2020. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda as it is?
So moved.
Thank you. That's Burns. And second?
Second.
Was that Radner?
Sure.
Yep. Thank you. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. Now is the part in our item number 5 in our agenda says recognition of visiting elected officials. Sometimes we have state senator, state house of representatives member. We have somebody from Oakland County to come and give us an update. This is the point in the agenda when we had that. Is there anyone who is a visiting elected official who would like to be recognized or give us an update?
I see a couple of elected officials.
I would
see
like
Regina.
to acknowledge State Representative Regina Weiss. Would you give us a few words of your first time in Lansing?
Yes, welcome. It's very weird to be on this meeting and not be a member of council. It's good to be with you all again. I don't have much to say. Just wanted to report that I was officially sworn in as the next representative for the 27th district today. So my term will begin on January 1st. And I'm looking forward to it. If anyone needs anything from me, they can contact me directly by email. My email is regina.a.weiss@gmail.com. And I'm looking forward to it. Working on setting up some virtual coffee hours coming up. We actually just did one last week with Representative Wittenberg and Senator Moss, but there will be more coming. And excited to be serving the 27th district, and I'm here for you always. Anyone on this body or anyone in Oak Park needs. Thank you.
Our Representative Weiss, would you repeat your email address?
Yeah, it's Regina, regina.a.weiss, WEISS @gmail.com. And I'll be getting an official email soon. It's not quite set up yet.
Okay. Got it. Thank you so much. And we're very excited about your career move. Onward and upward from Oak Park. Anyone else? Is there anyone from Oakland County? Okay.
Well, I see that there's a recently elected judge. Just got sworn in today.
Oh my, where is that?
At least I saw her a second ago.
We're talking about Jamie.
Amy, yeah.
Is that
there-
Jamie
Yeah,
Horowitz?
she's there. I guess she's technically an elected official now that she was sworn in.
Yes, she's right in our court, right on our property. So she is definitely, she's our judge now, and we welcome her to our court. And Jamie, would you like to say a few words? You were also sworn in today.
Yes, sorry, I'm a bit of a mess right now. We're getting ready to take the kids to Wild Lights, but I'm eagerly and intently listening to this meeting. I'm loving all the progress the city is making. It's just really, really wonderful to hear. I was sworn in today. I'm very, very excited to get to work. I'll be with Judge Goubeau tomorrow for the last mental health docket that he's going to preside over. And he's just given such wonderful service to the communities in the 45th district. And I'm really
Yes.
looking forward to starting work in January.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much. I think we are honoring him at our next council meeting.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, moving on. We don't have public hearings or communications. Down to item 10, accounting reports. I need a motion to approve payment of invoices submitted by Garen Luca Miller PC for legal services in the total amount of $14,250.15. Is there a motion to approve payment?
So moved.
Ms. Burns, and is there a second?
Second.
That, Juliet,
Edgar.
thank you. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mayor Pro Tem Burns,
Yes.
Councilmember Edgar,
Yes.
Mayor McClellan,
Yes,
Councilmember Radner.
Yes.
thank you. That passed. We gotta always pay your attorney from our attorney on council. We don't have bids, ordinances, or a city attorney report. That brings us to item 14, City Manager Tungate with a COVID-19 update.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, members of council. Briefly, and I do have one action item, council members, I was hoping to get your approval of, and I'll go through that in just a moment. I wanted to provide a brief update. As everyone knows, the city is currently closed to the public. I think, if you've heard these discussions we've been having as part of these first two meetings here tonight, some of our public safety staff has begun receiving vaccinations. And that will continue. They're part of the 1A category that's been determined. I fully.
Can you just briefly explain to the public why our public safety people are getting the injections where other cities' police departments are not?
They're just that much nicer people. I mean, that's ours. So I'm glad you asked me that, Mayor, because that's a great thing to bring up. Our public safety staff are licensed medical first responders. So they are part of that 1A designation, that 1A CDC designation. I fully expect, and I don't have any, definitive intel to go off of, but I fully expect most of the city staff, who are all considered now essential critical workers, to be vaccinated here in the months of January and then leading into February. We have begun working with our partner at Care Here we've ordered the new PCR test. I think council members, you already knew that, but that is the rapid test. But we've also begun talking to them about the vaccination rollout when they get their hands on them. Obviously, the city is following all of the governor's orders regarding remote work, social distancing, and gatherings. And by the way, just because the vaccines are coming out, I think everyone knows this, but I'll say it again so you hear me say it again. This is not the time to let up on some of these social distancing and wearing masks and using hand sanitizer. And, I would highly encourage people not to gather for the holidays, unfortunately, and follow the CDC recommendations. The city is also working with the school district. In fact, I just had a call the other day regarding a remote testing laboratory through Henry Ford Health System, and more news will be coming out on that as well. The action item that I'm referring to, council members, is I would like your permission to continue the public, close to the public status, that is, of our city facilities throughout the month of January to February 2nd. And the reason I'm recommending February 2nd is because we have a council meeting on February 1st. That's a Monday. And that would then buy us that night if we wanted to extend it beyond that, or if we wanted to let it come due. I think it's still time to, put the pedal to the metal and get through this thing. I think we're on the 5-yard line here. And by continuing the closure, we are protecting our residents as well as our staff. It's the last thing I want to do, but I think it is the right thing to do. And with that, I'm open to questions, comments, concerns. And if there aren't any, I would entertain that. I would ask for that motion to be approved.
Shall we make the motion to extend the closure from January 4th to February 2nd? Is there a motion to that effect?
So
I'll make the
moved.
motion. I'm sorry, go ahead. I'll second it.
Julie Edgar and Solomon Radner. Thank you.
Question?
Discussion or questions?
Yes. City Manager.
Mayor Pro Tem Burns.
I'm sorry, maybe I missed what you said, but and I'm in agreement of closing for the additional time, but I'm just curious as what brought you to this decision? Was there an additional announcement made by the governor or?
Well, that's a great question, Mayor Pro Tem. The governor, I think everyone has heard by now, the governor has extended the closure of restaurants to in-person dining through January 15th. That was one of the things. But at the end of the day, the recommendation is coming because in speaking with other city managers in the nearby area, and then just knowing sort of a basic timeline based on the rollout of the vaccines, it's just like I said, I think it's just smart to just put the pedal to the metal and, get over the goal line here and be as safe as we possibly can. So hopefully we don't put anyone else at risk and, we can end this thing once and for all the right way.
Okay, thank you.
Mayor,
That's Councilmember Edgar.
City Manager Tungate, has it worked out so far? I mean, what is your assessment of the remote workplace? How's the city government functioning? Do you feel that it's okay to do this for another month?
I do feel that it is okay to do it for another month. We're not operating at our highest capacity, just being honest with you. I personally don't like it very much at all. I think if I had to say though, I'm amazed, especially in the second time we've done this now, how well our employees have adjusted. It's been the hardest on our field staff, of course, and then our public safety department because they don't get the work from home at all. And then of course it's been harder on our residents. I mean, not being able to come into the building to drop off payments or speak to someone in person is difficult. So I do think we can manage. And I hopefully, once we get to February 1st, we can decide if we want to extend it a little bit or if we think the time is right based on the vaccination schedule.
So when residents call, if they have a concern or a query or complaint, are they able to get through to somebody who's going to help them now? Because I know when people are working from home, it's just things go a little nuts.
So all of the city's phones are forwarded to a active person. So if you call any department of the city, we now have it set up where somebody's going to answer your call. So that part I think is going pretty well. We've worked a lot of the kinks out. All the staff who have the ability to work remotely have the proper technology. I mean, that in the first shutdown, that was part of the problem, was just getting them all set up with the internet and the laptops and everything else, and phones even. So I do think that part of it has improved quite a bit, and we're able to function. But again, it's not functioning at our optimum level. I think we're kidding ourselves if we think it is. We're not. But I think we have to look at this and say, what is the risk and what is the reward? And at this stage, because the vaccinations have not been widespread yet, just haven't had time to yet, I think the risk is too great to come back and put our patrons and our employees at risk. We are also rotating people in and out of the buildings, by the way, they're closed. So there are staff in person. I know I've been in City Hall in person every day, but other departments as well, where staff are coming in on a rotating basis. And of course, public safety and Department of Public Works, they don't get that remote work responsibility at all. They have to be there in the field, and it's hard. It's absolutely hard.
But we are in the third surge, which is much worse than the first two. And at the beginning, we were the hot spot in the state of Michigan. 8 of my friends who are very careful have COVID. Folks, we gotta keep facing this.
Madam Mayor, could I just add a personal editorial if I could? One of the things, there's been a lot of debate about this. And if I'm just looking at things on a fact-based basis and facts only, the fact of the matter is the mitigation efforts that the state and others have put on, they are working. You're seeing that reflected in the numbers. Is it pleasant for everyone in our society? Absolutely not. I think the best news that I can share with you is based on my conversations with Director Maroney, it looks like a lot of the economic development projects that we had in the hopper are going to continue forward. So we're not going to see as much of that loss as maybe other communities around us will.
Wow. Amazing. Wow.
And then I think I would still need your motion, Madam Mayor.
We have a motion we've discussed. We just need the vote. Yep. All those in favor of extending the closure of the city until February 1st was the date?
February 2nd.
February 2nd.
February 2nd, yeah.
Please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carried unanimously. We want everyone to be healthy. Staff and residents.
Thank you, council members.
And then I think City Manager Tungate, I think it's, is it item B, event and activity update?
Yes, it is, Madam Mayor. Council members, this is the one that I was mentioning a moment ago that we're adding now to in the previous meeting. I mentioned we're going to be adding to the meeting agendas of all of our meetings. And without further ado, I'm actually going to turn it over to Director Jocelyn Davis to give us the update.
Thank you, City Manager Tungate, and good evening, Mayor McClellan, members of council, and my management colleagues, and City Manager Tungate. We have several things happening in the city right now. And I just want to say this, we have been doing a lot more than other cities, other communities in terms of offering virtual events and things like that since this pandemic began. It's just been very difficult because, of course, things change on a weekly basis. So it's hard for us to determine what we can do and can't do, but it became, City Manager Tungate suggested that this might be a good way for us to make sure that the public knows exactly what's going on. So we have a few things to talk about. For one, the community calendar that we're all used to getting at the end of the year will be coming out at the end of this year. It should be in mailboxes next week. Been working real hard on that and it looks real good. I'm excited about that. City leaf pickup and concluded today. However, between now and April 2021, residents can still take their yard waste to Sacra, directly to the Troy transfer station on Coolidge Road in Troy. So just so everyone knows that, if there are any questions, people shouldn't hesitate to give a call over to Public Works for questions about that. The other one is that here's some events that are happening that are going to be taking place. Find the Magic is a wonderful event for families that the Recreation Department is hosting. This is where magical snowflakes are placed throughout the city. in our parks and also in some of our local businesses, and families had registered for this event. They go around on a scavenger hunt, and we actually have some prizes for winners. The first 4 families to complete the scavenger hunt receive 2021 Detroit Zoo memberships for a family of 4. So it's a fun thing to do. Isn't that nice? And any of the things I'm about to discuss right now are also, you can have your questions answered by Recreation, and I'll give that number out too at the very end, and also an email address. The other one is for seniors. This is Monday mornings for seniors with Mara Lee. It's a virtual program where seniors can call and chat and enjoy coffee or tea with Mara Lee to share their thoughts and new experiences, fears, concerns, and then leave with a positive outlook. And that's going to be happening on January 11th and 25th at 10 in the morning. I also virtual trivia night. This is the one I'm really looking forward to. It costs $5 per team per night, but there are prizes, gift cards, and champion t-shirts. It'll be TV and movie themed games. On January 14th at 7 o'clock, we'll do one on the show Friends. There's another one on The Office, and that'll be on January 21st, one of my favorite shows. Yeah, that's a good one. And then Disney movies, which is really themed for families, on January the 28th at 6:30. So all of those things are going on for families. And if you just want to have some fun as an adult with the Office or the Friends trivia game, that's fun too. Then we have a virtual arts and crafts class for children. This is an introduction to drawing. That's for children ages 6 to 12. And it is on Tuesday, January 26th at 5 o'clock. The cost is $10. That includes their supplies, which will have to be picked up at the community center. But this is a one-time deal at this point, January 26th, 5 p.m. Now, these next few things, I'm sure I'm going to hear a lot from the guys who work on my team. There is a virtual NBA 2K and Madden NFL leagues going virtual. So they're on 4-week formats, and there's the playoffs. If you want to be included in the playoffs, it's $20 per participant. There's an adult and a youth, 2 separate ones, NBA 2K21 league using PlayStation. And then there's another adult Madden NFL 21 and youth Madden NFL 21 league, 2 different leagues using Xbox. There's also a Rocket League. I'll have the telephone number for Recreation here, but know that everyone needs to have their own equipment to actually participate in any of those, but that there are prizes. The winners receive a championship t-shirt and bragging rights. The last one is ESPN Fantasy Basketball League. That's the last one. That one is from January 25th through February 1st. The cost is $5 and registration begins January 18th. I'm sorry, the deadline is January 18th and the draft date is January 21st. That's another fun one. And just as another piece, I know we had some question about some things that are going on that maybe have changed. So the Recreation Department has come up with a couple of ways to handle that. One is to produce a newsletter, and I'll be able to say more about that next month. There's one coming out this week called The Rec, and that's actually a newsletter that talks about highlights for youth, teen, and family programs. This little newsletter will be in a physical mailbox outside of Recreation. And the reason for this is as things change, because we're in a pandemic, sometimes the details change and we'll be able to have something printed for people. But please know that we will always also highlight any changes in programs that we have through our regular channels, such as our Facebook pages. And we have several, one's for the city, there's one for Recreation, one for library. We also have our cable station. And I've heard recently, people don't know that we have 2 stations. We have a channel 15 and a channel 16. 15 usually runs programming. 16 runs posts where you'll just see all the different things that are happening in the city. And then of course, we also have our website. Check out our website anytime. We also have community e-blasts for those who may not know. Community e-blasts go out once a month and they have a list of all of the events that will take place during the coming month. Also the mayor's message. The mayor does a monthly message on the 15th of every month, and that comes out and there's always great information in that. And then any emergencies or other critical information we need to share with community comes out in an e-blast. So in order to sign up for that, you have to go to the website and there will be a pop-up that comes up on the right-hand side that asks you if you'd like to sign up. And you have to put your email address in and then you're signed up. That's the only way we can actually sign you up by law. So we can't just add an email because someone says add my email. You actually have to go in and check a box that says, yes, it's okay to send me mail. So I hope that people will do that because that's also the way we get you emergency information. So that's all, unless there are any questions. That is it for what's happening in the month of January and December. December and January, excuse me. Any questions?
Madam Mayor, just one question.
Yes.
What is the phone number for the rec department so that people can follow up?
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Councilmember Edgar. The telephone number for recreation is 248-691-2357. You can also contact directly the director, who is Lori Stasiak, at lstasiak, LSTASIAK, at oakparkmi.gov.
Could you repeat the phone number? The last number dropped off.
Sure, it's 248, Mayor Pro Tem, 691-2357. 57.
7.
Yes, 7.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, council members. I am going to move on to 14C. We have our Director of Public Safety, Director Steve Cooper is here.
Good evening, City Manager, Mayor Pro Tem, City Council. Before you, I have ambulance service agreement. City of Oak Park is currently operating under agreement with Alliance Mobile Health to provide advanced life support and ambulance transport services in the City of Oak Park. Contract is up for renewal on January 1st, 2021. The Public Safety Department is recommending that the city approve a new 4-year agreement with Alliance Mobile Health. The agreement has been reviewed by the city attorney, Ebony Duff, and is attached. In consideration of the services to be performed by Alliance Mobile Health, the city shall pay Alliance Mobile Health $1 annually for the term of the agreement. The City of Oak Park, the Public Safety Department specifically, has been in partnership with Alliance Mobile Health for many years. They provide an outstanding service. They are of the utmost professional. And like I said, they also invite educational training opportunities for the Public Safety Department. Like I said, I can sit here for days and just rave about the respect and the great partnership that we've had with Alliance over the years. So I come before you with my recommendation for council to approve the City of Oak Park and the Alliance Mobile Health to enter into a new 4-year agreement commencing on January 1st, 2021.
Thank you. Will somebody make that motion approving the 4-year agreement with Alliance?
So moved.
Thank you. Mayor Pro Tem Burns, and is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Councilmember Edgar. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Passes unanimously. I think everyone is happy with Alliance. Thank you.
Thank you, council members. Director Cooper, 14D, please.
Thank you, sir. Before you, I have temporary traffic control order number 160, section 1.26. And over the course of several years, the Public Safety Department has received numerous complaints regarding the traffic situation on Roanoke Street between 9 Mile Road and 10 Mile Road. One of the more frequent and recent complaints has been accidents occurring at the intersection of Roanoke and Oak Park Boulevard. This area is heavily traveled by motorists, and residents believe motorists have mistaken the intersection for a 4-way stop, which has resulted in several accidents throughout the years. Residents are also reporting motorists constantly blowing their horns at cross traffic because of this belief. I contacted the Transportation Improvement Association, also known as TIA, and consulted with the Director of Engineering, David Allen, regarding this matter. The Michigan Manual of Uniform Traffic Control Devices indicates that plaques may be used in combination with a stop sign, and engineering judgment indicates that conditions are present that are causing or could cause drivers to misinterpret their intersection. After reviewing the traffic crash data from 2017 to current, Director Allen concluded that based on the right angle crash history, coupled with the fact that both streets experience fairly high traffic volume, he recommends the City of Oak Park install plaques. Cross traffic does not stop under the stop signs on Roanoke at Oak Park Boulevard for a 1-year period. After 1 year, evaluate the crash data for that period. My recommendation to City Council is that we approve traffic control order number 160, section 1.26, adding plaques. Cross traffic does not stop under the stop signs on Roanoke at Oak Park Boulevard for a 1-year period. After the 1-year period, examine the crash data to assist in making a determination on whether or not the plaques will remain in place permanently.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve this traffic order?
So moved.
Thank you. Mayor Pro Tem Burns, is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Councilmember Edgar. I saw these for the first time in Huntington Woods and got traffic sign envy because every time there was a two-way stop on the other side that doesn't stop, it had a reminder for the driver that this is not a four-way stop, cross traffic will not stop. So I just thought it sounded like such a great idea that I was hoping we could do it all over the city. Any other comments or questions?
Yeah, Madam Mayor, I just wondered if motorists treat that as a four-way stop, then it's a logical thing, right? It's a rational thing for people to think it's four-way stop there. Maybe it should be a four-way stop. I mean, if this turns out not to work, hopefully it will, but then I think we should sort of do what our instincts tell us to do, which is to put 2 more stop signs there.
That's sometimes approved and sometimes it isn't. If you wind up putting too many stop signs out, it's counterintuitive, but people start to ignore them. This at least alerts the driver when they have a stop sign that the other people aren't going to stop, they're going to keep going. It seems like it is a very safe thing to install, a low cost item. Any other comments or questions? Okay, all those in favor of approving the traffic control order for 1 year, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes unanimously. Thank you, Director Cooper.
Okay, Director Cooper, 14E, please, sir.
Okay, the last item I have before council is the United States Presidential Executive Order number 13929, Safe Policing. This past June, the President of the United States signed Executive Order number 13929, Safe Policing, making the U.S. Department of Justice discretionary grant funding only available to state, local, and university or college law enforcement agencies that have obtained credentials certifying that they meet certain standards on use of force. The President's executive order on safe policing empowers the U.S. Attorney General to designate independent credentialing bodies, including the Michigan Association of Chiefs of Police, to certify that a law enforcement agency meets the conditions of eligibility for federal grants. The Oak Park Public Safety Department submitted our policies and procedures on the use of force, and I'm happy to announce that we have been certified by the Department of Justice as one of the agencies that meets the required standards, and therefore we are eligible to still receive discretionary federal grants. And attached to the council agenda, I had a certification letter. And one of the things that I would like to add, I don't believe there's any action that needs to be taken by council, but one of the things that I would like to add as far as a commentary is that, in the past, several years, one of the concerns that you've heard from the communities and a lot of people in general is the policies and procedures as it relates to use of force training and several other things as it relates to law enforcement. And I'd always talk with the city manager, and one of the things that we've always prided ourselves with here at the Public Safety Department in the city of Oak Park is always staying on the cutting edge and maintaining a level that was head and shoulders above a lot of the other agencies. And like I said, we submitted our policies and procedures that we already had in place, did not have to tweak or modify those policies and procedures, and they more than met those standards and qualifications. So I'm happy to report that to City Council this evening.
I am so proud. There is no action that has to be taken by council. Do we receive the certification then?
Yes.
Good file.
Yeah. Thank you, Director Cooper. Thank you very much. I'd like to move on now to 14F for Director Maroney, please.
Thank you, Eric. Good evening, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, and City Council members. I am bringing to you tonight a facade grant application from Unexpected Craft Brewing Company. They have applied for a facade improvement application to replace a door and a garage door to make it more energy efficient. They've submitted 2 quotes for the grant, with the highest costing $6,103. And we recommend that City Council approve the 50% grant match, not to exceed the maximum of $2,500. And money is available in the facade improvement budget.
Okay, is there a motion to approve this grant?
So moved.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem Burns. Is there a second?
Second.
Councilmember Edgar, thank you. I am delighted that we have these grants coming out. I would like to multiply them by 20, I think. Just, we want our city looking better, and this is something that will help make that happen, especially now when our businesses are just challenged, shall we say. So we have a motion and a second. Is there discussion on this particular facade improvement grant? Okay, hearing none. City Clerk Ed Norris, would you call the roll?
Councilmember Edgar,
Yes.
Mayor McClellan,
Yes.
Councilmember Radner,
Yes.
and Mayor Pro Tem Burns.
Yes.
Carried. Another unanimous one. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Maroney. I would like to, Madam Mayor, members of council, ask our city assessor, Aaron Powers, to join me for 14G, please. Hi, Aaron.
Hi, Eric. How are you?
Good.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, council members. The item for your consideration this evening is the adoption of an interlocal government agreement between the City of Oak Park, Oakland County, and Dave Heber. And the reason that I'm requesting this is Public Act 660 of 2018 essentially established a new position in Michigan called the designated assessor. And this came about basically due to legislation in regards to assessing reform. So all municipalities, cities, and townships in the state of Michigan have audits of minimum assessment requirements that are undertaken to determine through the State Department of Treasury, specifically the Tax Commission, that assessing offices are within guidelines established by the State Tax Commission. And as a component of this, if a municipality is not within, is not satisfactorily performing in accordance with the State Tax Commission guidelines, then the municipality has an opportunity to file a corrective action plan. Should the corrective action plan essentially not be approved by the Department of Treasury, or a municipality fails to work within the corrective action plan timely, then a municipality could ultimately look to change their assessing staff, look to find another assessing company, or ultimately, as a last resort, work with a designated assessor. So all 83 counties of the state of Michigan are ultimately designating one county designated assessor to be able to stand in the unlikely circumstance that a municipality ultimately fails a audit of minimum assessment requirements or can't find an assessor, essentially. This is certainly more of a prevalent situation in northern Michigan primarily than southeastern Michigan. But each county in the state is having the designated assessor, or having to designate a designated assessor before year end. And Oakland County has entered into an agreement with Dave Heber, who's the equalization director for Oakland County, to act in regards to that position for a period of 5 years with Oakland County and those municipalities in Oakland County. So this agreement essentially is an agreement with the city, the county, and Mr. Heber, that if for whatever reason there could not be a department that would meet minimum requirements, that there would be someone who could assist the municipality in doing so.
So you need a motion to approve this interlocal agreement. between Oakland County, Oak Park, and David Heber to make him the designated assessor. Is that correct?
Yes, Mayor.
Okay. Anyone make a motion to that effect?
So moved.
Thank you. Mayor Pro Tem Burns and Julie Edgar, can we get a second?
Second,
Thank you. Interlocal agreement, Ed, would that need a roll call vote?
Sure. Mayor McClellan,
Yes?
Councilmember Radner,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Burns,
Yes.
and Councilmember Edgar.
yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you, Aaron, for very carefully explaining a very complex thing.
Yes.
I would like to ask Director Sandra Crawford to join me for 14H, please.
Good evening, City Manager Tungate. Good evening, Madam Mayor and City Council. Before you tonight I have 3 items which are for the Municipal Employees Retirement System, which is also known as MERS. It's our defined contribution plan that we have. And what is needed tonight is that there's an addendum to the defined contribution plan. One for the is to confirm the vesting schedule change for the plan ending in 0536. And that vesting schedule is that if you're 50% vested after 3 years, and then you're 100% vested after 5 years. And then also for both plans, the eligibility and compensation is defined for both plans. And also there's a resolution that I would like for you guys to adopt, which established authorized signers for the MERS contracts and service credit purchase approvals. So what the recommended action is tonight from City Council is that you approve the MERS defined contribution plan adoption agreement addendums for the vesting plan, the change in the vesting plan, and defining the compensation, and then also to adopt the resolution establishing the authorized signatories for the MERS contract and service purchase approvals, which that item is asking the city manager to be the main designee, but then myself and the Human Resources Director, Megan Burke, to be the optional signatories.
Okay. So in order to get this going, we need a motion to approve this MERS DC plan adoption agreement addendum and adopt the resolution about the signatories.
That is correct.
Thank you. Someone willing to make the motion?
So moved.
Thank you. Woohoo!
Hmm.
Councilmember Radner, is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Mayor Pro Tem Burns. A roll call for this, please.
Councilmember Radner,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Burns,
Yes.
Councilmember Edgar,
Yes.
Mayor McClellan.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, council members. I will also, Assistant City Manager, 14I, please, sir.
Good evening. Sorry about that. I wasn't able to unmute. Attached is, sorry, I'm working on 2 screens here and one just went down on me for a second here. So I'm not having as much luck with the technology. All right. Attached is a resolution to concur in the rules and regulations concerning industrial pretreatment program as adopted by the Great Lakes Water Authority. The Municipal Sewage System Act requires that the city concur with the Great Lakes Water Authority proposal to adopt amendments to the rules. The proposed rules have been reviewed by legal, finance, and public works and are found to be acceptable. It is recommended City Council approve the attached resolution. And just a quick explanation is the change in the rules mainly deal with, if you've heard of PFAS, which is a new chemical found in wastewater that they have to deal with. So that's really what the main change of the rules are.
regulating this chemical?
Correct. And it's basically for our industrial users who contribute pollutants to the sewer system, other than normal sewage waste. It's more industrial waste.
Okay, so we need a motion to pass a resolution to concur in these rules and regulations as adopted by the Great Lakes Water Authority.
So moved.
Thank you.
Okay.
Is there a second?
Second.
Councilmember Radner, my ears are clogged. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Is this a voice vote or?
I can call the roll if you'd like.
Sure.
Mayor Pro Tem Burns,
Yes.
Councilmember Edgar,
Yes.
Mayor McClellan,
Yes.
and Councilmember Radner.
Yes.
Motion carried. Thank you so much.
Madam Mayor, members of council, that completes the city manager report for this evening. Thank you and happy holidays to everybody.
Thank you. We're at the city council item 15, which is city council member appointment. The last time we were together, we heard 5 wonderful interviews from amazing Oak Park residents who were willing to serve the city. And we've reviewed those interviews and thought, and I will ask each council member to name the person that they feel we should appoint. Starting with Mayor Pro Tem Burns.
Mr. Sean Whitehead gets my vote.
Thank you. Councilmember Edgar.
Christy Andreski Price gets my vote.
Price, thank you so much. Solomon Radner.
On Whitehead.
Whitehead, okay. And my vote is for Sean Whitehead as well. So that gives us 3 votes. All of these people would have been wonderful additions to our city council, and we hope you stay active with the city and keep an eye out for future developments. Sean Whitehead, welcome to city council.
Do we need to make a formal motion?
We do. Thank you. And I will take that motion. Would you say the motion, please?
Sure. Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'd like to make a motion to appoint Sean Whitehead to take over the seat that's been vacated by Regina Weiss
Thank
on
you.
City Council.
Second.
Second, thank you. Do we need a roll call vote or?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Mayor Pro Tem Burns,
Yes.
Councilmember Edgar,
Yes.
Mayor McClellan,
Yes.
and Councilmember Radner.
Yes.
Now it's official. We have a new council member. We're very delighted that you took this on, and anything that we can do. I'm thinking if there is the Michigan Municipal League has a class called You Won, Now What? And I'm not sure if there's another meeting of that left. So City Manager Tungate, would you look into that and see if
Yep.
that is one option?
Absolutely, Madam Mayor. If I could also just add, congratulations, Councilmember Whitehead. Ed Norris, our city clerk, and our staff will be in contact with you to plan a swearing-in ceremony and a whole bunch more. So congratulations, Mr. Norris. If you could get his contact information, that would be great.
Madam Mayor, can I say something also, please?
Yes, please.
And I actually wasn't planning on saying anything right now, but I think that something just happened, which I think really needs to be pointed out, particularly to our newest member of council, Sean Whitehead. I guess he hasn't taken the oath, so he's not really the newest member yet. But something just happened, which I think is really interesting, and I think that we should take stock in what it was. And that is that obviously we've all had opinions about who we think should be the next city council person. And just moments ago, we heard from Councilmember Edgar that she nominated somebody else. And ultimately, when it came time to the vote, and that essentially it was going to happen. And the question was, do you want to vote for this person or not? And we knew, obviously, there were a lot of very good candidates. Sean Whitehead was just one of them. And he's the one who ultimately was going to get it. So Councilmember Edgar had a decision to make, which was vote for the person that I didn't nominate because he's going to be a good candidate or not. And ultimately, she did, in fact, vote with what ended up being the majority here. And I think that's, goodness, that's a civics lesson. But particularly for somebody who's new to council, there are going to be times, I guarantee you right now, that we're not going to see eye to eye on things. That you may be the only one voting one way, or you may be voting with the majority against others. But ultimately, at the end of the day, we're all doing this for the right reason, I think. And it's good when possible to see eye to eye to the extent possible. So I just wanted to point that out.
That is correct. Well said, Councilmember
Well said.
Ratner.
Thank you.
Very nice.
Welcome, Sean.
Thank
Welcome, Sean, and congratulations.
Thank you so much. I'm excited to get to work.
That's wonderful. Are we at the audience participation section? Do we have our
Yes, at this time, if anybody would like to speak, please raise your hand in the participant list or leave a message in the chat.
Oh, I see there are 6 messages in the chat. A lot of congratulations. Thank you, everyone, for reaching out, and some were candidates themselves, and for the same reason, just we all then come together as a city and work together. It's kind of heartwarming. Is there anyone else wanting to?
Mr. Sherman would like to speak tonight.
Hi, so I have a question. With the city being closed until the beginning of February, the Library Advisory Board, of which I'm a member, had talked about doing an investigation or look at into changing the hours to better reflect what the community needs. Right now, the library is open for curbside from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday. And we had talked about maybe sending out a survey to see what the community wanted to have done about changing the hours. And I'm concerned that, we're waiting now a month and a half to rectify the library hours. I'm suggesting that maybe the city, because the library board doesn't meet until January, consider looking at changing the library hours at least one of the days like they had before, where they opened from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. so that people that work or can't access the library during the week between 11 a.m. and 4 p.m. can do it in the evening, or consider having the library open on Sunday, maybe from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. I don't think we should have to wait to make those changes, especially now that you're extending the library and other offices being closed into February. Thank you.
Thank you for your input.
Mayor, we have Regina Weiss would like to speak.
Yes, thank you.
Good evening. I know I spoke earlier, but I just wanted to say again, congratulations to the newest member of the City Council, Sean Whitehead. I have to say that I was very saddened to leave council, and I was, though I wasn't involved in the process of the appointment, I was very happy to see that so many people applied, and we had so many amazing applicants who applied. And watching the interviews last week, I was just very impressed with the level of service and the commitment that many of our residents have to the city and be willing to step up into this position. And I know that Sean is going to do an amazing job, and I'm so thrilled that he's going to be stepping into this position. And I just want him to know that if there's anything that he needs to help with that transition, to let me know. And I just want to again congratulate him. And you all are definitely getting an upgrade for this last year of your term.
Kind. Thank you for your kind comments.
Madam Mayor, you know what we should do? We should have some fun and put Sean Whitehead on the spot.
Ah. All right, Sean, it's all yours. Councilmember Whitehead.
Just want to say thank you all for believing in me. I'm willing to get to work right now. I'm eager and excited. We had 23 great applicants. Please keep your enthusiasm. We need you in this city. So I want to encourage everybody who did put in an application, just keep up with the city, keep doing everything. I'm always here for anybody that needs me. State Rep Regina Weiss has big shoes to fill, so I'm excited to do that. I'm excited to work with the administration. I'm homegrown here, so I just know that I'm just ready to make the city proud. So thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Is there any other member of the audience who would like to speak?
I see no one else at this time.
There's no one else. Okay. So then City Council, and let me bore you for a while first with some of the things that, first, we are meeting today on the shortest day of the year. This is the day with the least light, the longest nighttime and the shortest daytime in the calendar. And so all of the wonderful homes that have decorated for Hanukkah or Christmas or Kwanzaa and put lights in their windows or lights on their house, it's even more meaningful this year than it usually is. It's always beautiful, but this year it seems, it lifts my heart. So thank you. If you have been down Oak Park Boulevard or 9 Mile in the evening, the city lights look just beautiful. They're just what we needed. I think I mentioned before, but Dr. Fauci was asked, even with the vaccine and all of this, when can we hold our mask burning celebration? And he said December 2021. So I just want somehow in our heads that yes, we can see the light at the end of the tunnel. Yes, things are looking up finally, but keep your mask on, please, Lord. We don't want you to be a number on the news. The City Council appointed members to the Street Safety Commission, and they have asked us to fill in a survey. Everyone has a favorite street that they say, this is the worst street in Oak Park for speeding. Now is your time to tell the Street Safety Commission about your street safety issue. It's on the city website. It's on the city Facebook page. It takes 5 or 10 minutes to fill it out. Please, now is the time to tell us what you like and don't like. I don't know if you've driven down a 9 Mile road, but the fence used to be a patchwork of a broken brown fence, a blue fence, and a white fence, and a green fence, and another broken brown fence. And now it is one nice, clean, handsome, neutral fence that looks immaculate with no junk growing out of it, thanks to DPW. The curving sidewalks have been finished. Director Maroney is starting to work on looking at which block we're going to turn into a park. So everything takes a long time, but exciting things are coming to 9 Mile Road. More things for us to look forward to. I don't know if you heard, but there was a fellow who went to Oak Park High School, graduated in 1966 by the name of Paul Milgram. And he was awarded the 2020 Nobel Prize in Economic Science. His family moved to Sussex in 1954. People who went to school with him remember him as a brilliant, congenial, likable guy. I went to U of M, got bored with being an actuary, studied business at Stanford, but discovered he loved research and went on to win many prestigious awards. So Oak Park boy makes good, and we're always glad to hear about that. As mentioned earlier, Public Safety Director Steve Cooper led his men in getting a Pfizer coronavirus vaccine injection. And he and all of the officers who were willing to do it got their injection because they are first responders. They are like the emergency room. If you have COVID and you call 911, you get a public safety officer before you get an ambulance. So they are right on the front lines, like the emergency room staff, and we thank them for all they do. I don't know if you heard, you know that new development on Coolidge, just north of 8 Mile. Ryan Hertz of Lighthouse announced that the first tenants received their keys to their beautiful new homes. Unfortunately, one of the little kids was playing with dad's gun and hurt himself. And I'm going to talk to Director Cooper about the possibility of adding a gun safety class for residents to our plan that we just okayed earlier. The Feiger family, formerly of Oak Park, you know the Jeffrey Feiger, who ran for governor a few years back, had a talented brother, Doug Feiger, who was into rock and roll. And he was early in 6th grade. He was with a group and they wore matching blazers. So he started early. He died fairly young, and there is a 3-disc collection of his work called Forever Together. And he's best known for the hit My Sharona. And it was about a girlfriend he had in Oak Park named Sharona Alperin. And his sister, Beth Falkenstein, said anyone who listens to his group, The Knack, with a knowledge of music, says, wait a minute, these guys could really play. They were talented musicians. And some other groups dubbed over his song and used it in a coronavirus video that they called not My Sharona, but By Corona. And with that, I will leave you today. Mayor Pro Tem Burns, if you have a few words for us.
Well, thank you everyone who joined us. Again, congratulations, Sean Whitehead, on your appointment. I just would like to say, please continue everyone to practice safe social distancing, wear your mask. Happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, and Happy Kwanzaa. Thank you.
Wonderful. Councilmember Julie Edgar.
So I just want to congratulate new councilman Sean White, Regina Weiss, who was sworn in today. We're very excited. We know you're going to do great things in Lansing. And to Jamie Horowitz for being sworn in today as judge of the 45th District Court. So lots of good things happening in the city. I think that we're on a roll. I want to see this council do some good things this coming year. I'm glad we have a group, and we now have 5 again. That's good. So thank you for applying, all of the candidates who are on this call. We met some good people, who are engaged in the city, and that's a good thing. So
Amen.
please stay with us.
Amen.
Thank you. Good night.
Julie Edgar, you preach, I'll turn the page. Thank you. Solomon Radner.
Has Sean been on city council long enough for us to start making fun of him and making Richard Pryor jokes? Or no?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. Maybe I'll save that for next time. Good night, everyone.
Good night. Thank you. There being no further business to come before this council, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you all for coming. Blessings of the coming year to all of you. Thank you.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Merry Christmas, everybody.
What'd you do to your, yeah, is your hand okay? Yeah? Okay. Oh, yes, you are dressed for the occasion. Thank you, Benny. All right. Be well.